Hello and welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Bill Littauer. On this edition of LMC-TV News, the habitat housing controversy in the town of Mamaroneck. We'll have an interview.
The Mamaroneck Village Senior Citizen Center finally breaks ground and the village board votes on the redevelopment of the Continental Manor.
Larchmont thinking of putting the proposed Village Hall expansion bond issue on a ballot.
Another post office opens in Mamaroneck and the ice rink at the Hommocks skates in another season.
Those stories and more on Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. First, it sounds like a good idea, building low-cost housing on county-owned land. But homeowners who would be neighbors of the project are not only opposed, they are angry, and one described herself as hysterical. The problem is that the single-family home would be built in the town of Mamaroneck at the corner of Laurel Avenue and Weaver Street. The private Westchester chapter of Habitat for Humanity wants to build a house for $50,000 to $60,000. The county executive and town supervisor Caroline Silverstone approved the plan. A low-income town resident would be selected to work on the house and pay for it through a 20-year mortgage to Habitat. Habitat is best known for its affiliation with former President Jimmy Carter. Would-be neighbors in Mamaroneck are worried that such a low-income project would devastate their real estate values. Town Councilwoman Elaine Price dropped by our studios to talk about the Habitat and other issues with Bruce Weiner.
Our intent is not to lower property values in any part of our town. The neighbors have every right to voice concern, and we will be working with them every step of the way so that they feel comfortable with this project.
So we understand that there were a number of important issues covered at the meeting last night, but one of the things that I think of that are of particular interest is the future plans for the Larchmont Motel. Can you tell us about that? Sure.
We gave the public an update at last night's meeting. We have 6 proposals, serious proposals, well-detailed, well-conceived, and we are confident that we will be able to limit these proposals to 2, narrow it down to 2, and then we will send it to the Affordable Housing Task Force, and they will be interviewing the developers, and we have been working with the Affordable Housing Task Force now for over a year. So we will all be making the final determination about a developer, I would say within a month's time.
Construction on the 8-story, 75-unit senior citizens complex in Mamaroneck is just about underway. Groundbreaking ceremonies held recently at the site on Halsted Avenue across from the railroad station. Seniors who are looking forward to moving into the complex were there, and there was former 2-term Congressman Joseph Diaguardi, who helped obtain federal funds for the project. Former village manager Joseph Fraioli and State Senator Susie Oppenheimer. She was the village mayor when the Washingtonville Housing Alliance first applied for the funds. Current Mayor Paul Noto termed it a testament to persistence and hard work. Rents will range from $876 to $1,037 a month. Bill?
A Harrison developer has applied for permission to build a 12-unit condominium project on Grade Street in the village of Mamaroneck. The project would be a 3-story stucco building with 9 one-bedroom and 3 efficiency apartments. It would be aimed at the lower-priced end of the condo market.
Now for this week's report on school news. Here's Monique Citron.
A happy reunion took place this week between Constance Urbalino, new principal of Rhinex Effie Bellows School, and one of her former colleagues, LMC reporter Eileen Deutsch. And now for that exclusive interview.
Hi, this is Eileen Deutsch, and I'm sitting here in Effie Bellows School with the new principal, Connie Urbalino, who I have had the really good fortune of having had to work with professionally in a school district in the Bronx. And it's a pleasure to have you here in Rhineck, and I can't tell you out there how lucky you guys are that you got Connie. Welcome.
Thank you, Eileen, very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and a happy coincidence, I'll say.
Can you just tell us some of your first impressions about being here in Bellows?
It seemed to me initially that Bellows was a very special place. I'm very fond of places with history, and there's such a warm history in this school. The school itself, first of all, the building being 80 years old and going through, there's just so much that comes to mind. In meeting the community, it's been amazing to me how many people have gone here. We had a senior citizens luncheon, and so many people told of having gone to Bellows when it was the high school, and about the elementary school that used to be in the parking lot where the teachers now park their car on North Barry Avenue. So there's just a host of history here. What also impressed me initially was the support for the school from the community and from the parents. And the parents from day one have been extremely supportive, extremely active in every committee that one can think of. And that's what makes for good schools.
What would you like personally for Bellows?
I want Bellows to be a place that makes a difference for each child. That the Bellows education for elementary school truly makes a difference for each child. I want it to be a place where each child can reach their potential, whatever that potential may be, and so that we may nurture the child in a very child-centered atmosphere, but at the same time challenge and enrich them too, to be all they can be, and really to care for and educate every child and strive for excellence all the way.
Elizabeth Glazer, a French teacher at Rhinebeck High, has some very excited kindergartners and first graders learning French. I visited her in one of those classrooms this week to see how it's going.
Ça va bien. Ça va bien. And smile. Ça va bien. Ça va bien. Okay, if things are not going very well, ça va mal. Ça va mal. Ça va mal. Ça va mal.
Teaching French at the elementary level is very beneficial in terms of learning a language, because at this age they're not at all shy. They have no inhibitions about trying to learn to say the new words and the new sounds.
The Life Center is offering a unique opportunity to nature lovers who also love children. A naturalist training program at Sheldrake Trails, Wednesday, October 10th at 9:30 a.m. The 3-hour program teaches hands-on activities you can do with kids in the woodland setting, and is particularly helpful for leaders of scout troops or any nature enthusiasts. The course comes with a packet of really fascinating information, as well as small magnifying glasses for observing things in nature, containers for watching the occasional slug or millipede, even crayons, and recycled paper for doing bark rubbings. The cost is $10, and it's taught by the life naturalists Martha Kaufman and Sandra Marafino. For more information, call 381-0450.
Question: whether to develop the Continental Manor former catering hall into condominiums. The Mamaroneck Village Board took up the issue at last week's meeting and gave the green light to redevelopment, even though Bill Coleman of the Stewart Avenue Association tried to convince them otherwise.
Should the proposed bond issue for the Larchmont Village Hall expansion be put to a referendum vote? Trustee Jeffrey Young thinks so, but other trustees aren't sure it would be a good idea. The bond issue could be as much as $900,000. We talked to Mayor Miriam Kernan about the issue.
People are elected to make decisions. I mean, that's the premise at which I start. And I think we are capable of making a decision on Village Hall. We all know that there are needs. We don't have access to the handicap in Larchmont Village Hall, which I think is a real failing that needs correction. We have a courtroom that's too small. We have no room where anybody, including me, can have a conference with a person with the door closed. Everybody is very much crowded in a very small office. So I think we all recognize the need. We are trying to grapple with the cost. I feel that we can do that.
Now, if there was a referendum, could it be held on November 6th?
No. It's too soon. It is that November 6th is too close to our day today. There's a certain notice period. I really don't know what it is, but it could be as high as 60 days.
So you'd have to have a special referendum. It
would be a special election. It would have to be held exactly as a village election is held, in the same number of places with the same number of machines and inspectors. So there's a certain cost to that. It's not a monumental cost, but there is a cost. And then I feel if we have a referendum that the village board should work very hard to promote this project. I don't think we can be a neutral body saying to the public, tell us what you want us to do. I think we should say, this is what we believe we should do for these reasons.
Bus fares may be going up in Westchester County. County Executive Andrew O'Rourke has proposed raising the fare on the B-line routes from $1 to $1.15. County officials say transfers and monthly tickets may also cost more. Bill?
A couple of weeks ago, the floor at the entrance to the Mamaroneck Firehouse collapsed. We talked about that with Chief Joseph Guerreri.
Chief, according to the village engineer, Mr. Zacharin, they are now looking into boring holes to make sure that they can rebuild that hole properly. How is the fire engine in the meantime?
Fire engine stationed at the other firehouse that's on Palmer Avenue, and there's no loss to service to the village.
Will it take longer now to get to 95? Is that a problem?
No, it's not, because automatically when the whistle blows to go for an emergency on 95, you automatically have two pieces of apparatus that respond. There's one up on Barry Avenue, and that responds with a piece of apparatus that's normally in Washingtonville, where it's stationed now. By the time he gets there, the other one's already up on the thruway. Then you have a third one standing by, radio contact in case there's an emergency.
The Mamaroneck High School yearbook, the Mahiskin, needs community support. Bruce Escoffery talked about that with Melanie Walsh and Nina Leeds.
So tell us about the yearbook and what brings you here.
Well, we're from the yearbook and we're here to talk about it, and we think it's important to us and it's very beneficial to the community.
The yearbook holds a lot of memories, as you probably know from your high school yearbook. Everyone looks back on their yearbook. And we were just wondering if people in the community who perhaps had small businesses or large businesses would care to take out an ad in the back of section of the yearbook, which reaches a lot of people in the community. And that's available. Also, we're selling books if people would just be interested in seeing what goes on at Mamaroneck High School. Also, there are patrons about. There's a lot of things you can do to help out the yearbook, because it's really important to all of us, students and faculty and everyone. So if you'd like to help us and contact us, we have the number, I believe, is on the screen. So that Mr. Warrenby is our faculty advisor. He would be the one to call. And we'd really appreciate it if, if there are people out there that would really like to help us out, because it's very important to us.
A former eyesore on the Boston Post Road at Delancey has been transformed into a type of post office package service. Robert Grant is the new co-owner of the establishment, called ASAP.
Mamaroneck takes another step into the future. This is no ordinary post office. Yes, you can do ordinary post office business, but you can also...
Our shipping and packing business for ASAP, which you could ship UPS, DHL, TNT, different carriers. We can also, through the postal system, if you come in with a package that's not wrapped, we are able to take that package and for a small fee we will wrap it as part of our service, as opposed to giving you a box and telling you to go home and wrap it. This is one area. Another area we have is our Business Resource Center, which we're really proud of. We have a standalone PCMX voicemail system. What you have essentially is access to a live operator from 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. You have voice mailboxes within the system, and you have them tied to beepers within the system. You have a business resource package whereby a small business person or a medium-sized business person could rent a physical mailbox, a voice mailbox, a beeper with airtime, and have the access to a live operator.
The grand opening will be on October 16th, and besides all the services you've just heard about, there's even more.
Last Wednesday, Mamaroneck's fire department held its annual inspection and dinner. All the firemen in their dress uniforms attended a reception at the Mamaro Firehouse before the event. Local officials also in attendance for the dinner at the Hampshire Country Club. And our own Channel 36, LMC-TV, was presented a special award of appreciation for the outstanding coverage and support it provided for the Mamaroneck Fire Department's annual parade and carnival.
And that's it for another edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. To catch this program, watch us every weekday night at 5:15 and 10:15. And if you'd like to join the fun in putting this news program together, you can drop by on a Thursday night at 7. That's when we record the show. It's done in the Palmer Avenue unit of the high school, up the stairs across from Walter's Hot Dogs. We'd love to see you. Thanks for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Bill Littauer. We'll see you again next week at the same time.